Dear Cleveland sports fans, I realize you've had a rough go of it over the years. Red Right 88, the drive, the fumble, the shot part 2. Cleveland Browns moved to Baltimore and win 2 Super Bowl championships as the Baltimore Ravens. Your Cleveland Indians lose to the Florida Marlins in the 1997 World Series. Cleveland Browns are reborn and, well, they're the Browns. Okay, maybe a really rough go of it. And I understand that you thought LeBron James was going to change all of that. That the man-child from Akron was going to do right by the city of Cleveland. That King James would make Cleveland the King's Court forever. And he would rule the NBA and make Cleveland the toast of the sporting world. No longer would people make fun of your city. No longer would people look down upon your city. No longer would people sit there and say that your city smells like doo-doo. But after 7 seasons, there were still no championships for Cleveland. 7 years of watching as defeat was snatched from the jaws of victory. 7 years as you watched a tremendous once-in-a-generation talent be wasted by a second-rate organization. 7 years of disappointment. 7 years of heartbreak. And 7 more years of that was the last thing that LeBron James wanted. Then in the summer of 2010 came the decision. LeBron, your king, your sporting hero and savior, announces that he's going to take his talents to South Beach. How could he do this to you? How could the king turn on his loyal peasants? Why would he want to go play in the city of Miami and South Beach instead of staying in the Midwest, staying home and playing in Cleveland? You beat yourself up. You beat your dogs. You beat your kids. You beat your girlfriends. You beat your wives. You beat your meat in total despair. You burned jerseys. You burned cars. You ranted. And then you watched as LeBron James goes to Miami and enjoys 4 incredible years in front of a city that really, frankly, couldn't care less because their sports fans have better things to do because unlike you in Cleveland, they live in Miami and they can go to South Beach. You watched as LeBron won MVP awards. You watched as LeBron made it to the NBA Finals each of the past 4 seasons. You watched as LeBron James won 2 NBA championships, and all the while, you had to suffer through the Cleveland Cavaliers. 4 years later, the possibilities are endless. And there's now hope for a city that so desperately needs it. LeBron James is a free agent, fresh off of getting steamrolled in the NBA Finals by the San Antonio Spurs. Your team has Kyrie Irving. They just spent the #1 overall pick on Andrew Wiggins. You have other young pieces in place. And most importantly of all, you have money under the cap to play with where you can potentially offer a max contract to your king, your sporting hero and savior, LeBron James, and potentially have the thought of bringing him back where you feel he belongs to make Cleveland his King's Court once again. And you all rejoice at the thought of this. You all rejoice at the possibility. And you all hope and pray that the king will answer your prayers. And you know what? There's a very strong possibility it could happen. There's a very realistic chance, Cleveland, that your hero, your sporting savior, the king, LeBron James, could be coming back home and suiting up for the Cleveland Cavaliers for the next several years to come. And I'm sure you'll rejoice. And I'm sure you'll forget about all that animus you showed him over the years. And you'll forget about all that hatred and vile and vitriol you spewed at him over the years because your king has come back home. So if it happens, I'm happy for you. And I hope you rejoice, and I hope you celebrate, and I hope it finally means at some point in time that Cleveland can indeed be a championship city once again, so that way we can stop hearing you bitch about not being one all the damn time. What if it doesn't happen, Cleveland? What if you're being set up for failure? What if you're being set up for this great tease, and then at the 11th hour, your dreams are ruined, your hopes are shattered, and LeBron James decides to stay put in Miami? Just remember, Cleveland, at the end of the day, it's still a game. It's not life. If this is that important to you, where if LeBron doesn't come back to Cleveland, you're going to do the exact same thing you did 4 years ago, then maybe you don't deserve to ever have a championship team. Maybe you don't deserve to ever have a once-in-a-generation type talent like LeBron James ever play in your city again. Learn from your past, Cleveland. Learn from your history, Cleveland. Stay calm.